Up to the middle of the second paragraph of Isay. So he wants to explain the Maim Elyonim, Maim Tachtonim, Tanugim Elyonim, Tanugim Tachtonim, and the whole Avodah, or the whole function, the role of the Kravayim, which can only do their inyan as a result of the Rakiya, in terms of the bodies, the Chatzar HaKovid. So he explained all that, and that was the answer. That whole mashal was to answer how be'etzem it's still one inyan, it's one in shal tainug. It's a question of chitzonius and pnimius, or to put it in simple language, direction. But still one inyan. It answered how singularity or oneness can produce plurality. It's not plurality. It's still be'etzem oneness. It also answers that you can even be a different mahus from the source. And I'm talking about Chachma versus the apple. Because it's only externally that way, mitzat chitzonius and pnimius, but be'etzem, it's not. I hope that's clear. There's chitzonius, there's pnimius, and there's etzem. Everything has these three levels. There's the essence, the internal dimension, identity, and the external. And here's drawing, mitzat Tainuk is really an atzmi, it's really one thing, even though manifestedly they are radically different. Nonetheless, they're not, as we explained in the previous shurim, and hopefully this is what the Maimon is telling us. Now the shaila is, but how do we explain the psoilas? How do we explain that which is rejected by the body? So again, the food is the etzem, in the nimshal is the etzem atainug, and it's broken down to tainig elyon and tainig tachten, the higher organs, the lower organs. Clear?
Yeah, the pnimius to the higher.
The pnimius and the chitzonius to the lower. Good, but now there's psoilas. So this surely is something other. The shaila is psoilas, the waste, it's not the same substance. That's already now back to our first question. How does achtas produce waste? How does chacham datzilas produce waste? Which is not reflective at all, it would seem, of the properties, the essence of tainuk, as we explained, the pnimius and the chitzonius do. So that's what he's answering now. So he first answered by introducing the pasuk in Parshas Nitzavim. It's interesting that he doesn't just bring the pasuk, but he says the Parshas Nitzavim. There's definitely a diuk there. Understand? So the pasuk identifies two things which are four, good and bad basically, but it's chaim and toiv and maves and ra. So which is higher, chaim or toiv? He proves that what? It's in ascending order. Ki toiv chasdacha mechayiv. Toiv is higher. If toiv is higher, following this pattern, therefore the sequence, that we're going to a greater degree, therefore what's lower, maves or ra? Ra is lower than maves. So what's the inyan? She started to explain that the kravayim, so the innards, the digestive system, gashmis and baruchnis, we're talking about baruchnis, lamaila, which are what? The malachim. So they caused ashpa to go to even to the ayin sarim, and they're called the lekim acherim. Why? Because they get from acharayim de kedusha. As you pointed out yesterday, lekim acherim is a very strange expression. It seems to grant legitimacy and just calls them acher. And the answer is yes, it is kedusha, but it becomes acharayim de kedusha. It doesn't say false gods, it says other gods. So what does it mean? So now that's, you have the answer. So v'tama davar, so why? Because they lack bittul, and therefore they cannot get the chayis eliki face to face, but has to come b'pchinas acharayim. So they, which we explained yesterday, which they get a very limited chayis. Kista the chayusa. Kista means a measure, a small measure of life. And in the words of, what is the Zohar? How does the Zohar call it? Find it. Second line of the next page. I've come across this before. What's it called? Kistet Chayusa is also from the Zohar, mind you. But it's also called what? I'm sorry, Kistet Chayusa, yeah. Huh? Yeah, which means, right? The bones. The bones. So that's why the body remains alive even after the nefesh leaves it, because there's still a chayis there, and that is called what? Moves. This is what moves. The person dies, the body's still alive. So even in moves there's a chayis mitzumtzum, and this is analogous to what, friends? As it goes on to say, analogous b'chlal to doimim, all inanimate. Why is it called doimim? What does doimim mean? Silent. So why is it called silent? Because it doesn't display any chayis. Not even the chayis of tzemeach, never mind not the chayis of chay and medaber. But nonetheless, there is a life force in it, otherwise it simply would not exist. So that's the definition of mavis. Definition of mavis is like doimim, is like a body without a nefesh. It's not exhibiting any chayis, there's no avodah of any kind. There's no chayis, but it manifested chayis in terms of energy, but there is a chayis, the chayis mitzumtzum. As he continues now. Vinyan zeh, now this is all the pseilis. Yeah, by the number 46 in the text. Vinyan zeh, the analogy would be the waste which is expelled from the body. And we are a reflection, of course, of the Maila. Shenikra Adam, why we called Adam, says the Shalah. The word Adam, just for a note here, has two meanings. You tell me the first obvious meaning. Why are we called Adam? Why are people called Adam? Why was Adam called Adam? Because he comes from the Adama, and the other extreme, the other Shalah says the other extreme. Adam Belelian. So what's he pointing to? The Adam part is obviously the Guf, and the Neshama is Adam Belelian, similar to the one above. Actually, the one who said that was Nebuchadnezzar. It's not a source of Kedusha, which is also Negeya to the name Adam, because it means, amongst other things, that this can be terribly exploited, Neshama, and produce Nebuchadnezzar. At any rate, so Adam is called such because it's a reflection of above. So the pseilis. So what happens down here? We'll understand the way it is Lamaila. After the digestive system breaks down the food, to give life force to all of them. And again, he goes the other way, not only to the higher ones. Higher than wherever that is, above the liver. Even the limbs below. Including the heel of the foot. So he's referring here to others that Abnos and Chassidus quotes this frequently. It's called the angel of death within the person. The Medrash there says that a person is an Olam Cotton. He's a microcosm of the universe, and whatever exists in the universe is the parallel within the person. His hair is the forest, the eyes, the sun, the moon, etc. Every part of the body is a reflection of something of the cosmos. Even the Malach HaMaves. And what's the Malach HaMaves from the person? It's the heel, the Ekev Sheberega, the lowest part of the most insensitive part of the person, which is why you can put it in hot water. It's the one before any other limb you put in, because of it's the sensitivity is so low. So he's saying that what's expelled before that, Chayis is given to every part of the body, including the Ekev, which is the Malach HaMavesh Ba'adam. That's the angel of death within the human being. Again, he's reflective of all of existence, physical and spiritual, body and soul. And the body is a reflection of the soul. It's all one thing. Physical creation, spiritual creation. Physical creation is a reflection of spiritual creation. So there, the life force in the heel is extremely limited. Now, after that, that's the function right within the body. But then, then the waste is rejected outside. Nonetheless, here comes the point. There are things in the world that get their nourishment from this, from the very excrement. That get their nourishment from the very, that which is rejected from the body of a person. Like there's an ischazak, and it gives them life force. This nourishes them and makes them strong. So what do we see from here?
Are you speaking about fertilizer?
Not just fertilizer. All waste of a person, no. You'll see there were the gnats. What are they called? These flies, what have you? They get their chayas from this. They draw nutrients from it. Flies included, and other similar creatures from a person. So it's understood, even though this is not life for a person, this has to be expelled. And if it's contained in the body too long, it's Rahman Litzlan, toxins and poisons. Aside from the extremely painful. Certain things you remember as a child. I remember our teacher. Your kids, don't relate to health problems as a child. I remember our teacher, but he was trying to tell us, our teachers growing up were not Meliובאוויטש Chassidim. There was 5 of them, all 10 of them, 5 of them in the whole Australia. Well, they're all, many of us Holocaust survivors, but they're not. One of our teachers was a big misnagid. Still alive, Zalazang isn't stark. He was very disappointed when he saw that I was taking a direction towards Chabad. Sat me down on Friday night. What is it that you see in Chabad? What does it tell me? Couldn't understand it. He's teaching the Lubavitcher school. That's how it was in those days. It was very good. I was actually appreciative of a much more rounded education, being exposed to Litvish and Ungarish and Polish and all kinds of streams. Al Koponim, so one day impressed upon us the bracha sheyotzar and the excruciating pain of a body that's blocked, that's terribly constipated. Now we should appreciate the bracha of a functioning body, where the openings, the orifices that need to open, that which is closed. You get older, you realize what a big bracha that is. Al Koponim, just that he actually sent Rabbi Glick as a student in Rabbi Moishe to Tells from Melbourne. And in Tells, that's where he discovered Lubavitch. From another Australian, by Matas Cantor. This is the father of the Cantor in Thailand. He was in 770 and used to give a shir there, a secret shir in Tells. And Reglik left. That was no simple story. It should be written up, but he doesn't want to tell all the details out of respect to the Rosh Yeshivas there, etc. In fact, I'm telling, and I've told this story many times, his leaving Tells was such a big to-do, because he was a rising star, a very bright young man, that when Rabbi Chaim Gutnik was in Yechidus, around that time, this is the late 60s, the Rebbe asked him to tell him what is it that the G'dayli, whatever it's Mitzvah G'dayli HaTorah, whatever they call themselves, have against the Rebbe. There was a list of tainas, and one of them was that Lubavitch kidnapped, I shouldn't use that word, Avram Glick. There's one, it was on the agenda. The Rebbe didn't go to Kotler's funeral, and the Rebbe doesn't attend their meetings, and tainas, a whole list of tainas. I've shared it at Fabrengen. Just to tell you how significant that was. Yeah, So I can tell the name of that teacher, Mr. Shmuel Yellen. He made Aliyah, lives in Yisrael. This word gets to him. We're sending our thanks and appreciation for his devoted years as a teacher, which he was. Akol Ponim, so it's rejected outside. Rejected outside, even though that for the person this is not nourishment. V'yad kadekach, 4 lines in the bottom of the eyes. Sha'afilim malach ha'maveh sheba'adam, even the angel of death within the person, which is the ekef sheberegel, the heel of the foot, and the yachol esayvlei cannot contain it, bear it, cannot. Shalachin nitchel lechus, therefore it's expelled outside. Mikol makom, its life-giving ability is not over. It still has a limited life. Therefore, it can strengthen. There are creatures in our world that are, in fact, nourished by it. So that's the thinking of what? Of mavis. Now we're going to go lower. So mavis, we said, there's also a chayis there. In other words, the flies, tainug. The flies, tainugs, to hang around these places and draw his nourishment. The human being is putrid and stinks and is intolerable and is expelled and is injurious. But for the fly, he's in Gan Eden. That's the meaning of what? Mavis, now Ra. In addition to Mavis, which is the level of life force that is drawn to the ayin sodim, to the nations of the world, if they lack, as long as they lack their bittul. It's a very limited life force. It's like, virtually no life, virtually, because it's not manifestedly so. But there is life force. But then there's even a lower level. It's even lower than Mavis. Meaning, from it's a lower level even. So from the chayis that's drawn to the ayin sodim, so the ayin sodim could live, not a godly life, not a life that acknowledges that everything is a gift from Hashem and created by God, but not in opposition necessarily either. But no, it can go low. Nishtal shalis inyan hamazik, from that can be not just oblivious, but opposing, mazik, injurious. Shehepech atoiv, the opposite of toiv, menagid l'kedusha, and it stands in opposition to kedusha. That's already ra, not just mavis, but ra. Shalachin dikra b'shem ra, shugaru yosim mavis. That's worse than mavis. We're clear? Opposition, menagid. Vinyan b'zeh, and the matter is as follows. Shak Hashem, he's explaining how this happens. Shak Hashem HaMetzias shen is it's very. This is avodah phrases. I'm not talking. Maim is talking to us. Kasher HaMetzias shen is zoynis me'achayis. So when that entity which gets its life force, shenim shalachayin sodim, that is drawn to it, machshiva es moker chayus, considers its life force, this is it. This is life. This is life. Life is having a good time, manicured lawn, whatever it is that you're into, or not. So Gashmi's dika life is life. In brackets, again, Makshiva es moker chayusa. He gives validity and value and importance to his moker, which is this chayis mitzumtzum, and it doesn't go beyond that. In brackets, like psoilish al davar analim, and he doesn't recognize that his life force gufa is the psoilis of yet a higher form of chayis. Shalachin yikras b'shem mobes berech hachayim b'atev. That really his chayis is death compared to true life and true good, where godliness is manifested and life is about avodah. But he doesn't. This is it. Gashmias, this is life. as the expression is, living the
life.
good life. Shenase etzla inyan ikri. This is his ikr. It doesn't say the only thing. He says there is higher. It's the kedusha, there's avodah, and he pays token, dues to it. But what is the inyan ikri is the good life, the beautiful people, the good life. So this is a slippery slope, and it's inevitable. It gives place for. It's not going to stop here, just, spiritually dead. It doesn't stop there. Rather, this entity, this person, whatever, he'll descend into outright destructive, abusive behavior. It's lower than death, which is inanimate and doesn't bother anybody. But this now becomes already a threat. A threat to others, a threat to anybody. A threat to, in fact, everything. Because everything is a threat. You can take it away from me. So that's what we find in the Elikim Achedim. So like Kim Achedim, that's the higher dagar of Mavas. But what happens is from there already there's a direct correlation that from Elikim Achedim, which is the Achorayim de Kedusha, not just Achorayim, but Benigut to Kedusha, opposing Kedusha. From that, that's Nimshach Inyan Rashus and Metzias HaKlippos. That's the Inyan of Klippah. Sheyesh Nachiluk bein Klippas Parei leKlippas Pa'or. Same letters. There's a difference between Parei and Pa'or. So Parei, he's saying, is the Ayin Sorim. He's one of the Ayin Sorim, Mitzrayim. But that quickly devolves into what? Pa'or. And the fact that the same letters indicates that it's one will lead to the other. Because selfishness is selfishness. And even it's innocent to start, it doesn't take long before it becomes destructive. Shebizman Paroi hayetchila inyan agolus. Paroi started golus. So that was the higher, that was Moves, that was golus, Elikus concealed. But what happens at the end? The Besim agolus. But at the end it all went down. It's before golus is over that it descends to its lower state. Avodah zara to the Pa'or. Yidden was the Avodah zara Pa'or. This would be in the Midbar, before they went into Yisrael. So this was Pa'or, the whole story of the B'nais Midyan.
Are we saying that Para is Mavis and Para is
Ra? That's what he's saying. Yeah. Yeah, and he's going to show it in the actual meaning of the words. So what's the clip of Parei? She connected Elam Abriya. Parei corresponds to Elam Abriya, and he sends us to where? See if they see over there. So what's Briya? In Yonot Chilas is Galus HaYesh. That's when the Yesh begins to assume his own identity, to some degree of independence. It starts in Briya. Shezewing in Paroi, the emergence of the Yesh, that's the darg of Paroi. This is the darg of Moves. Now, how is that seen in the word Paroi? Meloshin is Priya Kondahirin. Priya is the term used in Mila. You peel back the foreskin. So Priya Kondahirin is revealing all of the lights. Now, sometimes actually Chassidus uses this. The Makar is the highest. That's not true. That's the Makar. But for him, it means he's peeling back his Yeshes. No, Hayden, he's shining in all of his mitzias. Kedisa bezaya. V'haynu shayesha begiloi. Paroi is periyo. Kon the Hayden that his yeshes is begiloi. I am. Shanasa mitzias murgish is an identity that feels himself and declares himself as a mitzias. He actually said, I am the Nile and I made myself. Ani ya'odi v'anyasesini. And then, from that, you go to Pa'or. What's Pa'or? Then we get to the lowest level of Klippah. Klippas Pa'or, that's Pa'or. They used to defecate before it. the psoilis becomes the ikar, so that's the fly already that spreads disease. Pashit, I'm just thinking, spreads disease which is injurious that he got from the psoilis, which is the mavis. So the mavis leads to the disease. When the psoilis becomes the ikar, then the next thing is disease and death and destruction. It's the Gemara in Sanhedrin there. The Gemara tells the story of a woman. She said that if I remember correctly, she said if her son gets better, she will serve every Avodah Zarah, not taking anything for chance. So they showed her this. They came to Pa'er. She said, this I'm not doing. Even she stopped there. I forgot, she just added something at the end, whatever. But that point was, this is Shoy Matrizim B'fanel. They told her what you do. You defecate. Right, this is already beyond her boundary. Akoponim, that's the word of Ra. That's the creatures that carry the disease from the psoilis. Let's continue. Okay, we'll go a bit further. It's Vadan Itztavo Yisrael, so you know commanded. I'm just thinking what the Rebbe says, where it's a pasuk in Parshas Nitzavim. You know, he's taking us back. Just it's my instinctual response. Nitzavim, immediately his association is what? Rosh Hashanah, and the whole Avodah, the whole foundation, the head of the year. This is, and we say this is the foundation of Avodah we're talking here. Parshas Nitzavim. Yeah, perhaps. Kol panim. So we're told the Bacharta B'chaim, choose life. Hainu sheloi ti'abchir b'ram. Don't choose evil. What is going to see to it that you don't get lost? Chashem descend to Ra. It's first don't be dead. Don't be dead, then you won't be Ra. Don't Chashem be dead. Don't be machshiv. The psoiler says that's life. Don't choose mavis. But what chayim? And then higher than that is even what toiv. Understand that the old inyanim gashmim is just what? It's the psoilis. It all means from end. It's the pnimis is the tainug eliki, which we all seek. That's right. It's all. That's the tainug. Even though the Yid, so he gets nourished, and he's got to put food and drink on the table. This is the residue of really the tanugim el yonim. So, what the beauty here, friends, is not like the hayonim we quoted the other day, like classic Musar. It's klip, it's ra. So forget it, reject it, fast, reject it. That was the classic approach. What's this telling us? It's the tainu, it's the psoilus of tanugim el yonim. It's not something else. It's all alikos with pnimiyas. And your whole desire for it is also the quest for alikos and to experience God's tainug in you and your tainug in Him. It changes everything. Right? That was the nikud of that hayom yoim, that bakeh sholom v'dat feihu, ke'el achad, bottom. One God created them. That's the great chidush of Chassidus before Mashiach comes. So he knows that it's only the psoilus of that tanugim el yonim, which is the ma'im el yonim shmei al rakia. Why am I pausing? We'll stop here. The other day was the levaya of our uncle, Nechama's uncle, Rabbi Moishe. I just completely blank. Chaim, no?
Salzburg.
Moshe Salzburg. I was getting another name in my head. Now, Moshe Salzburg was a very fine Jew, wonderful person, and involved in many moises in the city, including he was the founder of Yeshiva Gedola, which was created because he went to see the Rebbe At that time, it was only the Lubavitch Yeshiva. Listen to this. His story was written up in the gym. It was only the Lubavitch Yeshiva, and as much as he loved Chabad, not for him, not for his kids, he wanted to make an alternative yeshiva, but didn't want to do that in competition with the yeshiva. This is in the 50s in Montreal. And so I think Rabbi Kramer suggested, why don't you ask the Rebbe? And he was kind of certain the Rebbe would say, no.
67-ish. Around 67. Yeah, around then.
Anyway, the Pearl Mamish Rebbe encouraged him and gave him first seed money, token donation. And when he showed him the plans, the Rebbe said it's got to be better and you need air conditioning and you need a bigger dining room. So the whole Yeshiva Gedolah started. Yeshiva Gedolah, if you know its history, not for now. It's all
a good dormitory and beautiful kitchen, because the mothers are going to come to see, and that's going to give incentive to the boys to come.
Yeah, mothers want to send their children because it's a good dormitory and good food, etc. Encouraging it and giving money. That's the whole thing began here. So he passed away. The Levaya was 2 days ago. I'm just saying it. So the Levaya, the Rosh Yeshiva Gedolah spoke. They say one capital Tehillim, one, very short one, capital Tezayin. The rest of the funeral is Espedim for an hour. That's it. As you know, that's it is by the Misnagdim, the Litvish world. It's in Baruch Hashem Chabad. It's Tehillim, a lot of Tehillim, and the announcement of where to go. Upon him, so he was saying, he quoted the famous Gemara that if you learn Torah Lishma, then it's your Torah sends Meyala Shamayim, and if it's Shalei Lishma, it's Ada Shamayim. And he added, whatever that means. So my wife told me afterwards, I don't mind if this goes out there, I should call him. Explain it. I'll explain it. Well, the Chassidus understand what it means, Meyala Shamayim, Ada Shamayim. As if whatever it means, we can never know. You could know. So this is revealed, we could know. Okay, this is not Lashon Hara, this is in a public hesped. And at the end he finished his speech that they should be in Gan Eden, and he ended these words, forever and ever. So I approached him afterwards. I said, I'm sure this was just a slip of the tongue, but there's a Kitzur Am Sheikh Ne'ofer. Gan Eden is not the final address. Don't send him in Siberia. It's a Lashon of the Rebbe. Shik him in Sibir. The Neshama comes down Lamata. That's the ultimate. Ches HaMeisim, Gimel Ikrim. And he's thanked me. You're right. So you have to be careful with that. Avot. Right, that's our story for today. Sure. Le'ili Nishmas, our uncle of Moshe Zaltzberg. What's his full name, Chaim? Do you know?
Moshe ben Shloimeh.
Yeah, Moshe ben Shloimeh, a wonderful Jew. Very good man. Okay, friends, have a wonderful day. Sudas Tovas.